This began on the 3rd of January. The governor, Uba Sani, has condemned the attacks and given directives for an evaluation of the damage, while a former lawmaker, Shehu Sani, is urging the federal government to involve and strengthen local security structures. Lupe Asom reports from Kaduna.
A cloud of despair looms over Kunkure, Ungwansaku and Dogon Kaji villages in Kajuru and Kauru local councils of Kaduna State. This certainly is not the beginning of the new year they hoped for. Just 3 days into the new year, gunmen launched a brutal attack on their communities, which caused about 17 deaths and scores of villagers were abducted. The local vigilante, also known as Yansake, and other brave villagers eventually repelled the attack and pursued the attackers. The bandits laid an ambush for the local security men and killed about 8 of them and also set their motorcycles ablaze. Casualties from both Christian and Muslim faiths have been buried. Senator Shehu Sani, a former lawmaker from Kaduna State, have suggested engaging and empowering local security structures since the government has refused to allow citizens bear arms for self-defense.
Terrorism affects both Muslims and Christians. That is why we have a situation going on along this path. There's a need to allow the state to see how the vigilante groups and volunteers who have decided to take on this fight be supported. If the government will not allow people defending themselves, then if people organize themselves as defense committees or vigilante group or volunteers, they need to be given all the necessary support they should have in order to protect. It's happening in parts of Kaduna State and Niger State, where some communities have decided to set up their own vigilante group, contributing money to protect themselves. If this is not done, it's going to be worse. You can see in some parts of the north where even these terror groups are imposing levies and fines. People can't go to their house until they pay levies, they pay taxes to terrorists. It has reached a point in some places, some communities invite one terror group to protect them against that. If we are going to have solution to this problem, it has to be holistic.
Meanwhile, Governor Uba Sani has strongly condemned the attack in Kauru and Kajuru local councils, promising justice and the arrest of perpetrators and support. He directed for an immediate damage assessment, assistance and relief efforts to the affected communities through state agencies. The governor also emphasized the state's commitment to peace and development. Lupe Asom, TVC News, Kaduna.
In a related development, the Katsina State Ministry of Internal Security has confirmed another attack carried out in the early hours of Saturday at Dan Ali village in Danmusa local government area of the state. Sources confirmed that an elderly man was killed and 5 women were kidnapped. This happened a few hours after vehicles carrying traders were attacked at Maidabino village in the same local government, where 8 traders were killed. The Katsina State Police Command also confirmed the attack on the traders. The command revealed that 2 security personnel sustained gunshot injuries and are receiving treatment. The recent resurgence of banditry attacks on communities has compelled the state government to establish a community watch corps. Earlier, we spoke with a former chairman of Danmusa local government area in Katsina State, Nasuru Danmusa, and we also spoke with the CEO of Security Watch Africa, Patrick Agbambu, to speak on the insecurity in the Northeast.
As a result of, intermittent attacks and a fight from our gallant security agencies and community watch corps on the bandits, they resorted now to attacking traders on their way. Before they used to attack communities and they will take 3 to 4 hours operating. But now that is not possible, because the moment we receive information, we'll deploy security agencies to go and deal with them. Unfortunately, this is their new strategy, which we are going to, look at it, analyze it, and see the best way we can be able to tackle it for now.
Still on security matters, villages in Plateau State that came under attack on Christmas Eve in Bokos local government area may still need more time to recover, as the havoc wreaked during the attack would make it nearly impossible for displaced villagers to return to their homes soon. Our correspondent, Funam Joshua, visited some of the attacked communities. We would like to warn that this report contains some disturbing images and viewer discretion is advised.
We took a trip around the affected communities to get a closer look of the environment, its topography, and also to see the damage done.
This is how terrible this route is. It's one of the routes that can lead to one of the attacks community here in Bokos local government area. So it makes it very difficult for security operatives to access this community even if they have an emergency call.
After a long journey, we arrived at Ndur village. Here, almost all the houses and property were destroyed and burned down.
Behind me are these locally made food bands belonging to these locals here in Ndur community of Bokos local government area. Of course, this community is among villages attacked Christmas Eve that caused the death of over 200 people. You can see these food bands are gone. It's just a shadow of itself at the moment, burned by the attackers.
These locals that we met are a few that could muster enough courage to stay back.
Just come unexpectedly, they attack us, kill one of our brothers, injured some of our men. So some of our brothers are in the hospital.
We moved, drive through 5 villages that were also attacked. They were all deserted. The only sense of life here are domestic animals and birds. The devastation is much, and so much more have been lost.
The attacks in Boko villages has been very devastating. The loss of human life, the degrading of human dignity has been most painful.
And out of all the places we went today, in Matelem, you could see yourself, there was no sign of any police or military outpost there. In Matelem, Ndun, Ngyong, Yelwanono, and now Waimbar. You can see there's no evidence that the flashpoints have been covered.
About 15,000 people were displaced in the recent invasion, and they are currently sheltered in various emergency IDP camps spread in the council area. Umbar community is the last to visit. The story is not different from others. It is another sad sight.
This room where we are standing at the moment, as you can see before me, these are human bones. 6 people are reported to have been killed inside this room and burned beyond recognition. These are some of their bones and other, part of human bodies you're seeing in this room. The situation here in Bokos is very pathetic. Funam Joshua, TVC News, Mbar.
On to other stories now. The Nigeria Customs Service Ogun 2 Area Command has released 1 impounded bullion van and the sum of 24 million naira seized with the vehicle for conveying 12 bags of foreign parboiled rice. The command's area controller Olushola Alade made this known while briefing journalist correspondent Kazim Olowe reports.
A bullion van intercepted by the Joint Border Patrol team at Olorunda area of Ogun State, conveying foreign parboiled rice and cash worth more than 24 million naira, has finally been handed over to the owners by the officials of the Nigeria Customs Service. The comptroller, Ogun 2 Area Command, said the action of the Nigeria Customs Service followed final investigation, which revealed that the bullion van was not designed for use for illegal border activities at the time of interception. He said they relied on Section 168 of the Nigeria Customs Service Act 2023, which empowers the Controller General of Customs to release seized items on compassionate ground if it has been established that the purpose was not intended for conveying contraband.
On 22nd April 2022, officers and men of the Joint Border Patrol team at the Olorunda axis of Ogun State intercepted the bullion fund with registration number FKJ 993BZ. Fund trap consists on bags of foreign parboiled rice and 24,489,500 naira along the Sokoto Idong Joga Road, Abeokuta axis of Ogun State. The foreign parboiled rice, which were 12 bags of kg each, were carefully concealed in the vehicle.
He said a total revenue of more than 21 billion naira was generated in the year 2023 by the command and promised to continue to ensure strict compliance to the rules and regulations.
Overall, the Ogutu command generated 21 billion 657,273,534 naira 7 kobo in the year 2023.
The controller also decorated 18 newly promoted officers of the command with their new ranks and urged them to rededicate themselves to the service of the nation and always be professional in the discharge of their duties. Kazim Olowe, TVC News, Abeokuta.
And in Borno State, the Governor, Babagana Zulum, is assuring people of the state that his government would continue to bring developmental projects and increase human capital development. Well, this is in fulfillment of his campaign promises to improve the living standard. TVC's Jessica Fida reports.
Within the 100 days of his second term, Governor Babagana Zulum executed 77 mega projects across the state. The governor says this effort is to transform the state, which has suffered 13 years of insurgency.
I want to express my sincere appreciation to all of you that voted us into another phase of public service. Again, I commit to making sure that we shall work 100% for the benefit of all residents of Borno State, regardless of political, ethnic, and religious persuasions. I want to assure you, the people of Borno State, that the victory you have granted us will neither make us arrogant, nor will it make us to take you for granted.
One aspect that the governor has shown great concern is the provision of palliatives to people of the state, as the impact of the full subsidy removal continues to bite harder.
If you come into the state capital, you certainly know that there is a governance, there is a government in place, which means Zulum is working, and people have been attesting to it. We appreciate the support they've been giving to the government, understanding his style of leadership, what he means by service delivery and good governance. The year 2024 will be very, very ambitious because he has well-fashioned and articulated people-centered programs aimed to sustain what he has done so far. And I must tell you that the testimony of people outside the government have been very, very appreciative of the governor's efforts in trying to see that, yes, life returns, and alhamdulillah, life is fast returning to Borno State.
As the new year begins, residents are hopeful for improved governance and leadership by the Babagana Zulum administration. Jessica Fida, TVC News, Maiduguri.